to UK-based Al Arabi Al Jadid. Of the 130 trucks that crossed via Rafah, 73 were reportedly looted near the Morag axis in an area under Israeli control. Only 37 trucks reached warehouses managed by the Palestinian Red Crescent and Egyptian Committee. Another 20 trucks were sent back to Rafah by Israel for unknown reasons. The IDF has not commented yet. This marked the first Egyptian aid delivery through Rafah since Israel took control in May and coincided with the launch of Israel's 10-hour daily humanitarian pauses. Former U.S. envoy David Satterfield warned that Red Crescent and aid lacks international accountability, making it more prone to looting compared to UN-distributed aids. Now we go back to our guest discussion with Ross Feingold. Thank you, Ross, for staying with us. Now, this looting of aid shipment area under Israeli control actually raises questions about accountability, and also, if it's under Israel control, is it possible for people to loot local people without, maybe they had, I don't know, how did they loot? Do you have any information on that?
This really depends on the willingness of the Israeli military to escort these aid trucks point to point. Apparently, the Israeli government or the military is not willing to do that yet at the moment, and it might require additional international pressure. At the moment, Israel and its military is let those trucks in through the Rafah crossing from Egypt, but it looks like it then stood down and let the trucks drive in to the warehouse, or attempt to drive into the warehouses on their own. And it appears that the Israeli military view is they're not going to risk their own soldiers escorting those trucks point to point. So again, I think Israel is probably going to come under international pressure that it does need to escort those trucks point to point, and we'll see how the Israeli military and government react to and whether or not they're willing to do that.
And Ross, do you think this incident could damage trust between the Palestinian authorities and Egyptian authorities, as well as international aid organization?
That's a really good question, and obviously time will tell in the coming days. And of course, there's a role for Israel in this as well. Like I said, there's an important issue here of Israel's willingness to escort those aid trucks and also to continue to allow them to enter. But for the Palestinian Red Crescent and any other organization within Gaza that's trying to facilitate the acceptance and then the distribution of this aid, they really have no choice. Israel is willing to let in this aid from the Egyptian side, and the Red Crescent is going to have to work with what becomes available. They don't really have a choice to say we don't want it, so they have to accept this aid if Egypt is willing to provide it, and the Israeli military is willing to allow it through the crossing. But again, clearly there's an issue with the safety of these trucks after they cross the Rafah crossing into Gaza.
Thank you for sharing that, Ross. Please stay with